Welcome to the Net Nerd Podcast. I'm Pete. We have
Marius.
we have
Dominic.
but we are recording live from the Nerd Cave of Solitude,
Otherwise known as the out room.
otherwise known as the room in the backside of the house where nobody lives, for good reason.
Dum dum dum.
At least there's a round table.
Yeah, I'm like King Arthur and his merry nerds.
I'll bring my armor next time.
That's an idea.
That's an idea. Like podcast, we record a podcast wearing our armor. It's like,
We need a Guinevere.
just like the visors, like.
Anyways, the topic we were planning to discuss for this session was space games.
Space meat.
Space meat. Well, that escalated. Anyway, the
Subnote invaders.
Subnote Invasion, yes. The two games we thought of before starting just now was the
Playboy the Mansion.
games like Legendary, games like open space explorations, things like X, maybe Sins of a Solar Empire, and then other space games like that are more action focused. The X games, X1, 2, and 3. Is there an X3?
X3.
X3.
Yeah, there's
And-
an X4 coming actually
and-
along. I can't wait.
And the more action focused games such as Wing Commander and the Freelancer games and what else is there?
Wing
There's a whole
Commander.
bunch.
Yes, and TIE Fighter, like in 1985.
Oh man, yeah, Star Wars TIE Fighter. I always wanted to play that, but I could never get it.
There's a whole bunch of Star Wars fighter games. Anyway,
Yeah, I mean, when did that come out? 95?
96.
Yeah, like
It's in the PlayStation era.
I don't know.
1998.
No, it's
that's
an
earlier
old
than that.
game. Earlier than- Anyways, point being, yes. Star games. Space games.
You've played X.
I have played it.
You both have played X.
Yeah.
Yeah, I won't say I've played X.
We've loved X.
Yeah, he's loved X. I've installed it, launched it, created a character, and promptly forgot about it.
Oh, it sounds like my Sims 2 experience.
Yeah, that one I can talk about a lot actually. Unfortunately,
My Sims 2 experience was create a female character, grew up, create a lesbian relationship, she died, I installed the game.
but in my Sims 2 experience, I kind of had like the ultimate white trash family.
Hey,
You know,
bye!
It's like the walls were only there because I needed them for the fridge.
Oh, nice!
Yeah, there was no such thing as a closed toilet. Let's leave it at that for now.
Like, welcome to prison.
It's like welcome
Mr.
to
Prisoner, my
Oz.
tattoo hurts.
Shut up.
Okay, anyway, so.
Good
Space.
food, bitches. I love the onion. Anyways,
Okay, back on topic. Space. It's giant, it's vast, it's out there, it's looming.
I haven't actually played X. I understand it's actually the comparison is actually brought that X is something like a standalone Eve.
Yes,
It's
it's
very
a single
big.
player Eve, very much.
But my experience is more akin to things like Starlancer and Freelancer and the Wing Commander
More
series.
shitty arcane bits.
The first person shooters of the space era.
Yeah, I loved Freelancer when it came out.
Never played those games actually.
Freelancer is something I've never played through the entire storyline, but I've always liked the story, the way it starts, because Freelancer is quite literally the successor of Starlancer. The Starlancer is the history of Freelancer. In Starlancer, they break the solar system up and say the entire solar system with moons and planets and everything has been colonized, and we're mining all these different places. And the main two factions are, surprise, surprise, the Allies and the Soviets. There's literally like the Soviet faction. They break it up very simply. And then what happens is the Soviets and the Alliance are on the verge of this great peace talk, and the Soviets go, "Ha! No, we've got cloaking technology, and screw you!" And they attack and they destroy like the main fleet,
Klingons, right?
like the Klingons and all that.
Yeah.
Anyways, so the game takes off from there, and you play this ragtag team, Wing Commander style with Tiger Claw and everything, and you fight human on human and basically win back ground. But Freelancer starts, the intro cinematic starts in Warntorn Sol system, where war has broken out again and again and again, despite the history, and the alliance or the major groups of the alliance have decided to screw this, we're leaving, and they built the original ships, and they named them after the biggest cities on Earth, and that's where the main civilization, the main hubs in Freelancer comes from. Is that like the New York was one of the cities, and Tokyo was one of the ships. One of the cities that got named into Gaelicha, the South African platte. No, that one didn't make orbit.
It's like the orcs. It's somewhere.
It's somewhere. Space rocks. But anyway, then they escape to this far-fetched universe, which is very much like the start of StarCraft. And then you know that all happens again, and there's factions again. Lost track. Anyway, sorry, I'm getting off track.
I just had like the most amazing video game thought, and I know this will never happen, which is a shame.
Playboy the space game.
Yeah, but it's going a space game, but it's like think Warhammer 40k.
Yes.
But like Battlefleet Gothic, but then mix it with like X/Eve, and you can choose between all the races.
Pretty much Eve's engine with 40k.
Yeah, and just not
and orcs
and not
and
7,500.
Yeah, so just like imagine like I've always heard stories about the Goon Squad.
Oh yeah.
And Eve.
Goon Swarms.
So like imagine that, but with like orc rocks. So just imagine like these giant meteors coming into the main system. It's like you just see the orcs like butter. Whoa.
Yeah, traveling space in the 40k universe is fucking scary.
Can anybody say warp? Jeez, no. I mean, all the books I've read, it's like
everyone dies.
It's Clive Barker on acid.
When you go into the warp, it's not you know warp 9 engage and ETA 2 hours cool.
No,
Earl Grey tea hot. You know it's not simple.
No, you go into the warp
and Commando set course for the warp system.
You take like the scientific equivalent of a panga and you rip a hole in the universe.
Yes, and every ounce of energy you've got is there to keep the demons out.
And to keep the demons out and to keep gravity working in 4 dimensions.
No, I'm just thinking you know the movie Event Horizon?
Oh yeah.
It's very much like
we all now know where that ship went. It didn't go to hell, it went to the warp.
Yes.
And it came back with demons of Nurgle and Nietzsche.
Yeah, it came back with like, the Bloodthirsters.
The one thing I have to give the 40k universe, it's damn depressing. Because nothing ever ends good.
It's like if it isn't German dark, it's not German dark enough.
I mean, you bought me. You bought a book and gave it to me.
Grey Knight Omnibus.
No, the other one.
Oh yeah.
Oh, Ravnar.
Ravnicon.
No, Ravenor.
Yes.
About the Inquisitor.
Oh, yeah.
Where it's this 800, 900 pages of awesome book, and then right at the end, that ends up with him in a prison, and he's like first command, also in a prison, being executed. The book ends. I'm like, wait. You fought Turnits, you fought other Xenos, I mean, you fought the warp itself, but you're gonna die? The book where nobody ends, doesn't end well at all. Alright, cool, I love this.
In the Grey Knight Omnibus, a high-level Inquisitor, which basically, she's an Inquisitor, not because she's able to fight, she has no combat ability. She, however, is a high-level psyker. She's able to.
She's also stuck in a chair, right?
No, she's mobile, but she's able to absorb knowledge from a book instantly. And what happens? She gets tainted by this book from the warp, and then she gets executed. But she ends up in this prison planet, and it's a planet, but in orbit around the planet, and tethered to the geostationary orbit are all these individual cells that are pressurized with lifelines to the cell. And what happens is you're completely in orbit in the cell that gets a lifeline. And they can talk to you on vid feed, and the moment they think you're either in danger or your time is over, they press a button.
Space you.
And they space you.
It's like space elevators of doom, But yeah, I mean, I've played X. I've not played X's storyline. I have to admit.
It's got a storyline.
I also realized that afterwards. But no, X3 and X3 what's it, Retribution or something like that.
Your father or you're a son of some
fathers,
sort of
uncles, brothers, roommates, cousin, twice removed. No, I don't know.
Spaceballs.
I love the sandbox feel of it. So I just picked up on the sandbox and played the sandbox of X, and the game is awesome. Yeah, but I mean, you don't go outside, you don't see the sun, you don't touch boobs, all those things. It never happens if you play X.
It does when you play.
Don't get it wrong. You can play X and touch boobs. Just if you want to really be successful at playing X.
That's a good point, sir. I should apply that to my Eve campaign.
Jump, jump, jump.
Jump, jump, jump. Yes, there we go. No, but I mean, and if you take X, it's a single player standalone game, and then you throw it into the universe literally into the universe where you can open it up to other players. You get Eve.
Ooh, space games. You'll be able to relate. Star Fox.
I've never played Star Fox.
You've never played Star Fox? I've never played the original. I've played Star Fox in 64.
I think my friend may have actually Star Fox N64 on the N64.
Why was Star Fox so successful?
Because it's a fox in the stars.
Because you're a fox, you do a barrel roll.
It's because it was 3D.
Oh, yeah.
Star Fox came out. The first Star Fox came out on the Super Nintendo. Now I'm rehashing all. The internet's full of this, so I'm just blank out this if you're not interested. But the 3D FX chip, the
FX chip.
What happened was Sega added a Sega CD and the 32X and all those extra things. Whereas Nintendo's core design just allowed to add a few redundant connections, which could be used for upgrade as well. I mean, Nintendo was also looking at CD expansions. In fact, they had one in Japan, but and that ran a version of SimCity actually. But that's another story entirely. Bottom line is,
see previous post.
They made, all they did was the cartridge with the game on. They took some of the processing and put it on the cartridge, and then you plugged it in and it added a bit of extra. And all it did was actually give you wireframe polygons. But it was enough, and it was fluid, and it helped. That along with the what's it called, the mode 7.
Oh yeah, mode 7 graphics.
Mode 7 graphics. Mode 7 graphics, for those who don't know,
and me
and Marius, was when consoles get launched, they always do tech demos and they say our console can do this. Those who might remember.
You mean like the new PlayStation 4 where they only display the remote
and that face?
Yes.
And when the PlayStation 3 launched, they had the ducky simulation with the double water and the fruit duckies. Like when the Nintendo came out, one of its tech demos was F-Zero, and the entire Mode 7 graphic was what made Mario Kart work. It's where you take a 2D image and you stretch its dimensions so that stretches dimensions and its shading, so that it looks like you're looking from it from a perspective that it gets small in the distance and bigger up front. Yeah. So you get this pseudo 3D effect of a surface close to you that's bright and gets dimmer the further it goes, and if there's lines on it parallel to each other, they start to intersect the further away it goes. And then what happens is you can not only put it down, you can also 360 spin it any way direction fluidly. It was easy because like a mode you put on a GIF or a graphic and you've got this effect. Final Fantasy used it, and a lot of fantasy games used it to simulate the overmap as you travel over it.
Oh, right.
Things like Terra Enigma used it, and Final Fantasy 6 used it for its airship, and Final Fantasy 5 and 4
and 3.
I don't know, 3 didn't use it. 3, 4, 5 used the old version. I'm getting off track, sorry. Anyway, Star Fox. That was what I'm trying to say. It's, that's one of the big space games I enjoyed. Do a barrel roll.
Do a barrel roll.
Do a barrel roll.
The thing about Eve is there's at any given time between 30 and 50,000 players on the server. Eve works with a singular server where everybody plays on. Unlike World of Warcraft, that's got multiple realms, multiple servers we've played. Eve has got a singular one. I think they've got one for Europe and they've got one for Asia. So we get all the Russians on our server, which is awesome. Because every third guy in Eve is a Russian, and they apparently just play Eve. And it's pretty cool because you can, unlike World of Warcraft, it's a bit trickier to play. As we've said before, you know, it's
oh hell yes,
it's a bit of a math game, and it's not like Freelancer where you can actually control your ship by joystick. And they took the focus away of it and put it more into the overall ship management and how you control the subsystems and stuff like that. So it's a bit trickier to play, which is it's a bad thing because it's complicated. So not everybody will pick it up and play it. I mean, if those who've played Eve, if you don't persevere, you...
Then again, that's a good thing, because it's sort of like a rite of passage. Only the people that actually
that's when
need to play the game, play the game.
And then get to the upside, where you don't get 12-year-old angry kids that throws keyboards out windows when, you know, they get ganked.
You know, those kids online that seem to have sexual relations with your mom.
Yes, those guys who insinuate a lot of lewd things, you know. And the thing about Eve is, if you get ganked and you whine over it, you're just gonna get ganked again, because you get marked as an asshole and you get ganked again. And they will mark you and find you and kill you all over again.
And they'll wait outside your station.
Yes, and they'll wait outside your station and just kill you. Now, you know, and the best thing to do in Eve when you get ganked is just like, good fight, it's over, thank you very much.
Pot yourself and get
pot yourself and get out. Yes. But then you when you play against X, it's all NPCs. So when you fight, it's you don't have that interaction with people, which is good for those who don't want to interact with angry 12-year-old kids that throw keyboards out of windows.
But then again, that's sort of something I've moved away from, and I know you have, and I'm sure Pitt has also as well. Is that gaming? When I was in high school, gaming was something I did. I went home and played StarCraft because I enjoyed it. I went home and played Knights of the Old Republic because I liked the story and I did it. And my shared experience was when I met another person that played a game. It's like, oh man, you played it. But it's changed. It's not you go home and you play it and you relate afterwards. You go home, you play it with other people and you relate immediately, and then afterwards you say, oh man, that sucked, and oh man, that ruled.
I mean, I came home the other day and I looked at the list of PC games I've got on my PC, which is all now legal, by the way, and none of them were single-player games. There's no single-player game on my PC.
Even the games I play on my own, literally, are multiplayer games. It's the only reason I play them on my own, you know, in brackets, is because you guys don't play it. And I'm not expecting you to.
And that's what makes Eve cool. When you go out of high sec and you go into the lower sector and null sec system, if there's a blip on the map, it's another player. It's almost like DayZ. If you see another guy with a gun running around,
you know, see people in DayZ?
Oh, I do.
I only hear people then run.
When you hear like the gunshot and like.
The last person I saw was shooting me on an island. Why?
No, it's like that. Well, it's literally that. If you go into the system and there's another guy there, in Eve now, it's a 50-50 chance the guy's gonna probe you out and shoot you, and then probe you some more. You know, in the lewd way. Yes.
Can flipping.
Yeah, yes, like that. But there's a chance that he will be able to help you. There's a cool video that Eve got. CCP released about Eve. There's this whole thing about your story within the sandbox. I think if you go and Google Eve Online sandbox, the first video clip you'll get is that one. And it tells a story about this guy going to the mine, into the asteroids, and you see there's a couple of miners. He's like decides now he's going to help them instead of blow them out of the sky. And along came this guy's fleet and they invite him in over, and he just goes over with them, and they end up in this massive 150-a-side battle.
And they're putting this online as stories.
Yes, and it's a story.
On that topic today it was announced that, well, today I heard it on TGS, the game station, was that Gearbox Software. I'm trying to think that
they still exist.
On they and shit.
Well, anyways, what are they trying to do?
The current owners or the current people that run Borderlands 2, that Borderlands 2 is pretty much a multiplayer game with a set storyline. So it's like Diablo, well, like a hack and slash game. There's a set story and set quests, and there's only, I mean, if we've all beat Ninetales, so the story of beating Ninetales is pretty much the same every time. It's the same story, but we know now from experience that the real story doesn't come from where the story is fixed. A real joy experiences come from running around the environment and doing random stuff. And what they did now is they say that they're inviting players to make parties online, and play together and form their own stories, but they need to document their stories in a coherent way, and then post their video story, they're pretty much their machinima of their story. It can be completely staged, it doesn't matter, but their story of their team of characters in Borderlands, and the winning story will be added to the Borderlands mythos officially. And
that's cool.
And the four people and the people in the four players will be granted intern positions at the company.
As game testers or something.
No, as storyboarders.
Cool.
Or something, something as such, and they will be immediately allowed to work with whatever just produced, just the big boy toys, the real cameras and the bigger computers and the good rendering software to allow them to do more stuff. It's not an official job, but I mean that's a hell of an impressive thing to put on your CV for playing games.
That's the thing that Eve, getting back to the space theme. Well, Borderlands is spacious, I guess.
Yeah, but it's more Pandora-ish.
With Eve is a sandbox. So Eve is totally sandbox. Yes, there's scripted sequences when you're in high sec, but when once you get into the null sec systems, which is actually more numerous than the high sec systems, once you get into that, there's nothing scripted. If there's this epic video clip again online about this one alliance that crumbles, and then a couple of guys a couple of years later starts to resurrect the alliance. They come back and they take over their previous home system, and it's like that. I mean, the alliance I'm in at this stage, we've got this this ludicrous war going on, but the stories that comes out every day of this guy going there in this ship and getting flanked by this and this and this and getting potted there and screwed over there, and I mean, Eve is just it's the ultimate sandbox. And CCP also said they're not going to interfere with the sandbox, which they tried to.
Yeah, although sometimes I do feel that it's just me not playing the game that much or not playing it at all. It feels you have to be like almost plugged into the matrix. You have to read between the numbers.
The thing is, if you can play as a Care Bear, you can play as a Bambi and stay in high sec
and run missions.
Yes, yeah, or you can go into low sec or null sec where
lose all your stuff and start to
yes. My awesome new adventure started with my alliance. I had 30 minutes of finding enemies and 15 seconds of fighting before I had to walk back home. Yeah. Yeah, no, that's Eve for you. Eve is 90% planning and 10% getting your ass kicked. But it's a fun game if you're into that. If you're into the whole, it's a thing you can do on your own, but you can rock up with a couple of guys and then go and make somebody else's day miserable. While games like World of Warcraft, which I have played for years.
No, you lived it.
Yes, I lived it. As I said, my testicle is in a jar in Blizzard's HQ. World of Warcraft, it's a linear thing. I mean, the story. Yes, there's 1,100 million achievements to get, and stories, quests complete, and exalted statuses to be acquired. But it's still an easy game. It's still you run around, you can do this game. Well, Eve is not an easy game, and the other thing that makes Eve different from any other MMO is that dying is a real loss. I mean, our alliance got war declared against while I was asleep. So I logged in the following day, and everything I own, every little module, my 10 livestock and exotic dances that I had, everything was in my one ship. And without realizing it, we war decked with somebody, and the following morning when I logged in, I wasn't even online 5 minutes, and my ship got blown to pieces, which is everything I owned, a third of my total cash that I had, and it's a loss. And if you can lose everything, well in Diablo, and World of Warcraft, if you die, you lose 15 minutes of your life that you'll never get back. But yeah.
So yeah, that's kind of like hardcore mode for.
It's hardcore mode, yes, and the thing is, there's real risk to it. So going to a system and seeing there's 2 guys in local, and you're like, oh no, that's fine, and then a third guy pops in, and then suddenly 4 more guys pop in, you're like, oh shit, what I do here? There's no save point here. Doc. So
it's like you came to the wrong neighborhood, boy.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Very much. There's nothing more horrific than focusing on a battle and looking down and see there's suddenly 7 more people in local than there was 5 minutes ago. It's like that scene in The Birds, Alfred Hitchcock's movie, where the lady sits in the outside the school, and one bird comes down, and another bird comes down, and the camera pans to the left, and the whole telephone wire is full of birds. Yeah, that's that feeling you get. That's Eve the whole time. So, no.
Squawk. But what games did you play with?
I played a lot of X. I remember I can't remember the year it came out, but when X3 came out, I took that game very seriously. It was like Mario's,
Like white on rice.
Story. What story?
No, sandbox all the way.
I remember I used to read online where to buy the best loot and get the most monies, which unfortunately took like 6 hours of travel in the game. So my dad was just like, okay, start X3, get something else to play while I'm waiting. It's like, okay, set course to this system. It's like, oh shit. Like, it's like, crap, here's freaking pirates on my ass. It's like, I gotta get going. But the space game I'm recently playing is Kerbal Space Program.
Yeah, older.
That's what you were building up to.
Yeah. Because I was like thinking, wait a minute, space. Kerbal Space Program.
No, Kerbal Space Program is
I saw someone that built a boat in the game.
a boat.
A boat.
Like
I saw that
the black pearl type boat.
Like you put the engines on and it coasts forward and it dips into the sea and it floats and you put the engine on. But the moment you exceed to 24 meters per second, it disintegrates.
I tried building boats in the game, but I just can't. It's like the physics is like physics work.
Physics says no.
No, the thing is the water's the water isn't water. It's more it's like a soft earth. that so that you can enter it, but moving just a bit too fast through it just breaks.
I like how that game progressed. I mean, several versions ago, I was happy just getting a spaceship into outside of the Earth's gravity or the Kerbal's gravity.
Ooh, I can throw rocks.
Yes, and now it's like rovers and shit.
There's a guy that built a slingshot.
Slingshot?
Those strut connectors that you attach, a 3-prong connectors that can decouple.
Oh yeah.
He took those and you can put in the newer versions. You can put down supporting struts that hold your ship in place. You put down 2 of those, and on them you put like a whole bunch of struts, each one to the next. And the thing is that they
move a bit. Yeah.
They move a bit. So entire strings of them form 2 ropes. And in the middle he's got this little spaceship.
Space catapult.
With 2 engines. And what he does is he toggles the engines. Every time the ship comes close to the ground, he full blast, and then he leaves it in full blast, and it starts to wobble. And next time it's as high as it can go, he decouples. And he doesn't decouple, he evacuates his Kerbal.
I can see my house from here!
This ballistic Kerbal. It's like ridiculous. And then a comment at the end of the video, latest, next form of transportation or something, I don't know.
No, but my favorite thing I've seen someone recently built is a landing strip for space planes in space.
Wow.
Huh?
Imagine like there's these new parts. It's like a 2x4 or 2x2 or 4x4 metal plates, and you basically built like this huge.
Oh yeah, I know that.
Runway
in space. Which is like, where the docking ports is like. It's like, and you put like lights on it and everything. It's the.
Okay, docking itself is freaking difficult. Impossible.
You say that, the first thing that popped into my head was that space diner in Spaceballs.
Space diner.
At the end of Spaceballs is like the space diner. The diner you get in space. A diner. Like a diner in American highways.
Like diner at the end of the universe.
A diner. An American diner. Yeah, in space. But anyways, yes. When you said runway in space, that's what popped into my head.
But Kerbal Space Program is difficult. There are people building bases on Duna.
On what?
On Duna.
Yeah,
Mars.
Here's how you played way too much Kerbal Space Program. I saw like a chart of like the universe is like Mars, Sun, Eve, Venus, and it's like, wait a minute, this thing's wrong. Why is Duna in the middle where Bob should have been? And why is it like Jewel like here? It's like, oh wait.
This is not my universe.
What disturbs me is not just that people are building bases on Duna, but they're running missions to replace the crew on Duna. Just to replace the crew.
What happens with the crew?
No.
Swap them out.
Relieve them.
Yes.
So in other words, he's the guy that they don't just have the ability, self-engineer to get ships there, but they also get ships there with materials to build bases, to put Kerbals there, and then take more Kerbals there, and then bring Kerbal's back to stand next to the spaceport and go, wave at the sky. Why?
I know on the moon of Duna, I actually landed a rover in the previous version, 18.4, and it's like there was this one part where I actually wish I had like more power and bigger wheels, right? Because it actually reminded me a bit of like the Dukes of Izzard. So it's like this 40 degrees slant uphill, and on the other side is Duna. So it's like you're just thinking to yourself, it's like, okay, here's the ramp, here's Duna. So it's like I'm just thinking, I'm gonna gun it.
It's like it is a it's like
this is mine.
It is a say. I want to be woken up when Mars is like in our face, like where you can just run into the garden and jump high and Mars' gravity will take you and go thump. That is sketch. Go watch it. It is.
I'm just thinking, when I saw it, it's like yeah, them Kerbal old boys are up to no good.
Them Kerbal boys.
Well, what's cool to me though is that originally there were only 3 Kerbals and they were like famous. And
and
now when you start a new game, your first 3 Kerbals are I think your first 3 Kerbals are the signature Kerbals. And if your missions carry on, if you don't reset your missions, you actually get new Kerbals, different Kerbals.
I've got high hopes for the game. I think there's a lot of expansion they can do. There's a lot of things they can add to that game. It'll make the game epic.
Yeah,
especially when they start implementing the mining and drilling.
When there's actually a goal for getting somewhere. I mean, if there's resources that allow you to build rockets that are a lot more powerful, but it's only available like on Duna and on Muna, go to Duna and Muna with the gear to mine.
Yeah, then get to the scenario where you have to build space docks so you can build bigger ships in space.
And then obviously our favorite
and then end up with, the Nostromo.
Yes.
Oh man, I actually want the Ripley Kerbal now. It's just like with a self-destruct button. It's like this is Ripley Kerbal, last survivor of the Nostromo, signing off.
Yeah, no, that game's got. I mean, if they do the multiplayer thing, and I keep the paradigm that they should stick to what Minecraft did. You get your own server, you can play with your own guys on it. That'll work, I think, because the last thing you want is like this angry 12-year-old kid going all China on their asses.
Oh yeah, especially like firing his rockets into your
exactly
your orbits.
Yes, that's the last thing you want to have. Especially if you spend like hours building your space station.
I've got a whole bunch of orbits, but I've got no docking. Docking is freaking ridiculous, and I've got
no. In other words, you've got a whole lot of space junk.
That's like a worst Led Zeppelin song ever. It's got a whole lot of docking.
It's got a whole lot of docking.
Fun times. But Kerbal's very much more of a toy rather than what some people would refer to as hardcore gaming, although that term really sucks.
Yeah, I've heard like a sandbox / just relaxing game.
But then you get space shooter games and things like FTL, which we have mentioned before, which is just a humongous time sink. And FTL isn't so much a space game rather than something like a Mahjong puzzle. It's a puzzle to figure out. You sit down and you make choices, and it like in Sudoku, you could be correct about halfway and realize you used 6 somewhere where you should have used 7, and then you're sort of screwed. But there's nothing you have to finish. There are some people playing it way too much.
Yeah, but I heard like a great add-on if you finish the game is the Endless Space add-on.
What's the Endless Space add-on?
Basically, there's no end mission. There's no like.
You just keep on traveling.
You just keep going, and there's like miniature sector bosses instead of like one huge boss at the end.
That doesn't die. Jeez, the first time it's like it's dead. It FTLs away. Oh, bitch. After it's dead. It FTLs away. What?
Yeah.
And kill. Die. Yes, it's dead. Better be dead. Dead? It's freaking hell 3
Yeah,
times.
we can just be thankful it doesn't get like the bad ending, like with like these old NES games, like It's like
Congratulations.
Congratulations, you are here. Yeah.
It's like
Space
it's like one of the most famous ones is Ghosts and Goblins.
Oh yeah.
Like you beat the game, and then they tell you it's like Mario, like the end of the first level of Mario. It says, I'm sorry, the
princess was not in this
The
castle.
princess was not in this castle. This was an elaborate illusion. You have broken the illusion, but you have to do it again. And then you beat the game again, exact same game, nothing changes again. And then you beat it and you get the princess, and they say go back to the beginning to challenge yourself again. And it's like no.
Uninstalled.
The angry video game nerd from Cinemassacre does a brilliant show on that.
Well, the other game we played was Star Trek Online.
Oh yeah, but that's silly.
It's silly, but it's still spacey. So
It's silly.
it's relevant to the topic.
It's silly because you can it shares resources with another silly game called Blacklight.
Yes, and I have to say this: if I had oodles of money to give away to microtransactions, Star Trek Online would be it.
Yeah, but
I want my own 7 or 9 of 9 or my 11 of 13 or whatever they call it these days.
Yeah, it's a fun game, but I don't know, it's silly.
It's silly.
There's no coherent story in it at all.
No, there is a story.
If you follow your own, yes, and ignore the level 19
One thing
Borg
is-
hybrid ship passing you. It's like, the hell, we're still fighting the Borg.
These are not the droids you're looking for. The thing about Star Trek Online, which is a cool concept, is when you start the game, you start and you play the Federation character. You play the storyline that's been given there by Cryptic, who made the game. Yeah,
Cryptic.
okay. But if you play as a Klingon, when you have a Federation character which is level 6 or something, you can create a Klingon. Cool. And you can eat gach and play with your troubles all day long. But the thing is, there's no story for it.
Oh yeah, it's
The story is
user generated.
The story is user generated. The users create the storylines and they submit it, and then other people play it, and then they vote on it. And if it gets enough votes, it gets actually incorporated into the game.
I've told you about this as well now. I actually played it somewhat in last year, in 2012. They do the main campaigns, the human campaigns, Federation side, also has a hell of a lot of player-made content. But what they do you can't just have everyone uploading these things, so they have to be moderated. And what they do now is that they, I'm not sure if they still do this, I'll have to check, but there's a mission you can go accept at the Admiral something Akbar at Earth
Wrong universe.
at Earth base.
It's a trap.
It's a trap at the Earth base in orbit, and then what happens is you're given you can choose from the current month's contenders to become permanent missions made by players.
Oh yeah, I've seen.
And then what happens is you have to play through the mission, and then you have to submit your impression, like rate it and everything.
Yeah, you rate it.
And if you actually do all this, and sometimes these missions can be long, but if you do all that, then you earn a lot of dilithium. And dilithium is actually very difficult to find. It's something that trickles towards you. It's almost the equivalent of platinum in WoW. It's
It's
a
an
lot.
in-game currency.
And but the reason people would do this because in game you can transfer it for not Plex for
Plex, yeah, right. That's
you can it's very much like Plex. You can
it's what's his face? What's the company that runs it?
Cryptic.
No, what's
Perfect
the
World.
Perfect World currency.
You can hand it in for the Perfect World currency, and then you can use it in other Perfect World games.
Like
so
Blacklight.
So technically, you can use Star Trek to farm dilithium to trade for the
currency
for the intermediate currency to then use in Blacklight and feed your first person shooter Mayhem.
Yes, and buy a gear that doesn't hold that only
the last
that
24
disappears
hours.
after 24 hours or 3 days. So.
Hey, it's not that bad though.
No, Blacklight's fun.
The good thing about Blacklight is they say, okay, you've got shitty weapons, but at least you can throw yours down and pick up whoever you kill, and you whiff all that.
And you've got mechs.
Yes, you get hard suits, which
Which
don't
is
stand up shit against flamethrowers.
Flamethrowers.
Flamethrowers! Just use flamethrowers. In Blacklight, if you use a flamethrower, you kill the pilot, and you can take over the
You take over the mech.
It's like, oh, you've got a suit, hang on. You buy your flamethrower, and you run back. It's like, you toast him in his suit.
Toasty.
Well, it's a fun game.
Until he comes back and toasts you.
Blacklight reminds me quite a lot about like Half-Life 1. The Half-Life, the the multiplayer.
Multiplayer. Oh yes, just as silly.
It's the same thing. But yeah, no. Star Trek Online was a cool game. I won't play it again. I think I'm over it.
Yeah, the thing is, you bought it. I got it for free. They went free to play.
I still have the T-shirt. No, really, I do still have the T-shirt. But it was a fun game. It's and the combat was quite interesting. Again, but it's a silly game.
A game that sort of failed.
Silly place.
Well, sort of failed a year ago now. Is Star Wars Online. Or Star Wars: The
Old Republic,
which is another reason attributing to the resignation of the EA CEO. Started out and it was always hype, and we started playing, and I got into the beta for a while, but
I also got into beta, but I had to move the weekend,
so you didn't have internet. And then what happened is the game went pay to play, and then for a month and two, and then it went free to play, and then it pretty much went bust. So now it's still there, but only a few people play it.
Yeah, but I don't know. Star Wars: The Old Republic is cool.
It's a WoW clone.
But it's a WoW clone. I play it and it's like, okay.
Well, we can have a whole topic session just on
the
MMOs and WoW cloning.
Yeah, but the thing is, it's just boring.
I mean, I played Secret World now for a bit, and it's something different. It's like Vampire the Masquerade's MMO.
Oh, that's not cool.
It's actually cool. It's a very... It's you play with guns, but it's Vampire the Masquerade, the MMO. It's exactly what it is.
Does it have a kick-ass soundtrack as well?
No, it does not have a kick-ass soundtrack, but you can download the Vampire Masquerade kick-ass soundtrack.
Just like put on the Masquerade soundtrack in the background, play the Secret World.
Yes, there we go.
And do your first mission in the mansion.
Your first mission. Oof. But the game is quite cool.
I dare anyone to listen to this section of the podcast not to install Masquerade right now.
It's like I can see people launch it like Steve, like download complete.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah.
Yes. No, but it's a cool game. But again, it's WoW. It's the EverQuest WoW genre. And if you break Eve down to the bare basics,
it's the same thing.
It's the same thing. What I'm looking for is the next MMO, which is not a WoW clone.
The only thing I feel, this is my opinion, that will change this is the way we interact with computers. Something fundamental in the overarching system needs to change before the way we experience the games will change. Because there's no real better way to do a mass online game. There's no real logical way to do it. Unless you go XCOM email, which it's fun, but both agree it's not exactly mass.
I'm tired of these MMOs these days. I mean, I'm tired of playing WoW. There's nothing wrong with WoW. Pandaria is cool, it's pretty and everything, but it's been done. And so has Dragon Age, so has Secret World. That whole concept of character play. And you're right. I mean, the only way we're going to change that paradigm is by breaking out of what we've got as a controller interface.
And even if we don't change the core dynamic of the game, the interface can change dramatically. With the things like that the headset adapter you get that follows your head movement while playing games.
Oh, what's that called?
Oculus Rift.
There's the Oculus Rift. There's another device. It's just like a it's an IR device you attach to your headset, and then you put an eye on the top of your screen, and then in games like Arma,
yes,
where you have your mouse looking where you aim, and then your movement, and then the moment you either have a separate set of keys or a toggle switch, which then you press, and then you can look around, and your character's head in game actually looks around. Where those controls are then bound to the IR receivers on this device. And then you sit in game and you play like a normal first-person shooter, but the moment you twitch your head to the left in real life, your character looks to the left in the game. Yeah. So then you're still aiming forward, but you've got situational awareness to your left and your right.
There's a very cool video clip online where the guy promos it with Arma. And I think it's Arma 2 or Arma...
It's Arma 2.
Yeah. And it's very, very cool because you can now move your head. It's like a Apache Gunships I-HAT system where you look and the gun looks. It's the same concept. And it's pretty cool. And I can think if you can do something like that in any first-person space shooting game or flight simulator where you can look up and your character looks up to the canopy, that'll change.
That'll be awesome.
They've done
like
this.
in a canopy. It's like,
And
This is what
everybody who's listening to this is now going to go and download the Top Gun soundtrack.
We'll try and post the name of this device in the comments. The other thing that on the topic, that's what I've been doing it's phased out now, but I've used to do it with joysticks. The top end flight sim joysticks still have it. Is the POV button.
Oh yeah.
It's the HUD POV button where you it's a joystick on a joystick. It's a sun joystick on a joystick, and all you do it's directional and it allows you to look around.
A really cool thing if you play Formula 1 simulator. Sorry.
I got an idea for a game, but I don't think it will ever happen, which I think is a shame.
Rule 34, man.
Yeah, it's 34.
That's like, no, not Rule 34.
34. Well done, sir.
Yeah.
Like,
Anyways, yes.
granted, there are probably Rule 34 pics of the game in mine.
If you think about it, it's already online.
It's like a square black box says concept game with like a vagina on. Enough said.
Not again!
No, but the idea is...
Every time!
No, the idea is... I'm surprised we haven't made this yet, but like an action RPG of StarCraft.
Oh yeah.
That's why
Ghost
just died.
No, but Ghost was like a third-person shooter style game.
It was an action RPG. It would have had a solo campaign.
Oh, okay.
The reason
I'm
Ghost
thinking
didn't come.
Diablo / Path of Exile-ish. So like top.
Well,
like a dungeon crawler.
Like Borderlands.
Okay, now I want the freaking StarCraft skin from Borderlands.
Because what you just described as Borderlands.
Yeah, but
The universe is just different.
Yeah, that's actually true now that you mention it. But if you actually make like a StarCraft style game, but make it very serious, but like with the Borderlands style of gameplay.
Borderlands gameplay. Hellgate's color scheme.
Hellgate was a cool concept that went better up too soon.
Yeah.
But actually, now that I'm thinking about it, what we want actually does exist.
Hellgate.
No, Star Wars Republic Commando.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I haven't actually played that. I know you've played it more.
Oh, that's an awesome game. It's not an MMO-ish thing, but as a first-person shooter, it's...
Because I actually wanted to do... I'm just going to sidetrack a bit. I wanted to do this video on the Commando series.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, where I had like
the
an idea...
impossible game.
Yeah, like an idea for like a new possible game they could have done. Which I think would have been fun. But
I never play those games.
Yeah, it does me. If I do it, it won't be a let's play. It will be a let's fail and let's get angry at me failing.
Let's play the first mission and never get further than that. No, Commandos.
It's the original ball break.
Yes.
Yeah,
It's just ridiculous.
Oh, that game.
But anyway, my idea is that it's kind of a third person / first person game, but like top down if it's third person, like so it's think isometric. But the idea is you get like a group of commandos, say 5 for the mission. You can choose which one you want to be. So one can be like the Green Beret, the spy, the sapper, and all the rest of the people who patrol the building are like actual players.
Okay.
So you have to actually, if you're like the spy, you actually have to sneak in, kill someone. Now let's imagine they're all like on headsets, and you suddenly got into their like headset.
I'm dead.
It's like, and you have to like pretend like, why are you talking to?
Yes.
It's like, oh crap! It's like his headset is breaking up for some reason.
The only problem with that is that the attacking squad will do their thing. They'll hide, they'll attack, they'll whatever. But how the hell do you expect a team of guys with guns in a 3D environment
not to shoot one another?
A, not to shoot, and B, to actually patrol. Not just band up and run to.
That's one thing about Eve, though.
Yeah, that's also another thing. But
however, that idea works good in something where the environment is too large.
It's like you make like a huge environment,
which
and
brings
like
us to
random
Daisy.
spawning. Yeah, like imagine like
like the dogs outside fighting.
I hope that's a dog.
That's loud. They can actually work with a Daisy environment.
Because if you build a base, it's going to be like Eve. the people that made the game didn't push the base. Then you did. You want to protect it?
You
Guard
protect it.
Yeah. And you sure you've got a gun, but it's not. You don't have a health bar. You've got limbs and a heart. If you get hit somewhere, you're out. So I like the idea. It just needs to be put in a serious world context with engine like Daisy, not specifically Daisy. There are people that did that. There are more mods for armor that we know of.
Yeah, it's that Wasteland mod for armor, which is a survival. It's almost like DayZ, just without the zombies.
Yeah, you have to build your own
base. Yeah.
Oh yes. Yeah.
But I think the true sandbox game. No, that's what we're all looking for, where it's a virtual world that's not governed by anything, which is almost Eve, but not spacey fighting thing is not everybody's cup of. So
the thing is, they pretty much did this. That's what Second Life was. Second Life was sort of a virtual world that you
can't shoot people.
That you can do whatever you want.
You can do a lot of other things in Second Life.
You can do a lot of creepy shit in Second Life.
I've never played Second Life. I'm not sure if it still runs. It should.
No, it's still on. It's
but the thing is,
pay for it. It's still online.
Oh jeez. But the thing is, what's his face? It allows you to do many things, but without like a unifying purpose, these things never really become popular. That's the
problem with DayZ.
That's why WoW is popular. Because
there's
a dragon to kill.
Yes, and that's why DayZ ended up in Bandit shooting everybody else because there's no
ultimate end game.
There's no end of game content, and
except getting scared shitless every time you go to a real life airport.
Yes, except when you see that. Yeah. Now the thing is about DayZ is yes, there's no. And Rocket said is not gonna put in any content because he wants the people like an Eve to create their own stories, which is cool. I can accept that.
And they are brilliant stories.
And I mean, I've got a shitload cool DayZ stories.
Yeah, I think we all got like a DayZ story, which should make like an interesting episode.
Yeah, we should create like a DayZ.
Get my nephew because he can affirm of the weird evening we had.
Oh yeah, no, but the thing is,
I've had quite a few weird evenings myself.
Yeah, but the best was the
helicopter.
We are really getting off track, but I just want to say I just love that evening where you GPS'd me from the south.
Oh yes.
It's okay, Pete, what do you see?
I see a town. It's called Kakenga. Walk towards the sign, turn to your right, and keep running for 5 minutes. It's like what? Just do it, man. Trust me.
I've died a lot of times, and I know this place like the back of my hand.
And then the most perfect theme song for that part, Rocky Mountain High. That's that song I played when I'm from Jeff was Rocky Mountain High.
Oh, when you pick up
you have to appreciate a game where the average life expectancy is 30 minutes. No, that's awesome. But
wait, like Dark Souls.
Yes, like Dark Souls. See the first podcast.
Yes, this podcast is already becoming full circle. We're coming back to we're beginning now. Dark Souls, where we ended on the first one. I'm not sure.
I'm so scarred.
But I saw a Voyager episode the other day where Janeway said she absolutely refuses to get involved with Q and his time traveling shenanigans. So I'm like, yeah, this is where we are at. But to get back at that, I think to get out of the MMO thing that we have, this rut we're in, we need the ultimate sandbox. And Eve is doing a good thing of good step in that direction, but it's not enough. Not enough. The space fighting career thing is not everybody's cup of tea. The fantasy bashing trolls, they've got a cave troll thing, is what everybody loves to do, and that's what we have to do. We'll have to wait for the fantasy.
They are bringing more things though.
The fantasy sandbox.
That's why they're bringing Dust.
Yeah, but
to expand the universe.
The first time I bombard some PS3 players from space, my life will be complete.
Hey, you're not even on the same system. Have some.
Called exterminatus, biatch.
You just show up like a random exchange. Hi. So you're red and you're blue, right? Cool, right? That's what you're fighting there.
Have you seen Dr. Strangelove?
Yes.
I'm just imagining it's like opening the Bombay door. It's like eat that PlayStation fools.
Yeah, but that's cool. I can appreciate.
Twiddle your thumbs to this.
I can appreciate that cross-platform thing. That's very cool. I like where this is. I like where the technology is going, where you can have PlayStation guys and PC guys jamming on the same system.
The closer we come to the singularity.
Yes, you know, and all that. It's an episode on its own.
Oh, so much to talk about. I'm just trying to think, is there any honorable mentions? Honorable mention I'd like to make is to space games. Sorry, completely off topic. Back to topic, I guess. Anyway, space games. There is an XCom space shooting.
Yes.
That failed miserably.
I will not play that game if it was the last game on the planet. I'll draw figures in the sand and play tic-tac-toe with myself.
The reason that it failed apparently was because it was exceptionally difficult, and people.
It's XCOM. It's supposed to be exceptionally difficult.
But the thing is,
difficult.
The people that actually liked XCOM didn't like this for obvious reasons. It's not XCOM.
Yes, because it's a space shooter.
Space shooter, yes.
Yeah, I'm probably the only person who's actually looking forward to playing the XCOM first-person shooter.
No, they canned it.
It's like put on the flame shield.
Have they changed it again, or have they completely canned it?
No, they're actually going to bring it out apparently.
Oh, crying out loud!
But it's going to be a downloadable only title from what I've heard. But
they've changed it a lot.
I don't know. It's I think the reason I like it, before we get all the hate mail, is due to I like the 1950s look. I like that idea about
Tommy guns and parades.
Just like the 1950s, like fedoras and trench coats, and it's like. They have no real technology. The greatest technology they have is a vacuum tube.
Yes.
And they're taking on aliens with bioengineered weapons.
On that note, sort of spacey is the new XCOM game. It's full of bugs, and once you figure out how it works, it's not that difficult, but it's still a damn cool game. And the multiplayer, multiplayer is awesome. That's brilliant.
It's what Yahtzee said is he goes on an entire rant on zero punctuation and somewhere in the middle says, but do I like it? Let's just pencil in a yes.
Yeah, no, that game is awesome.
But XCOM is freaking awesome. I haven't played like the older versions, but
me and Marius used to play one that not a lot of people know about, and that's the email version, because it was made by
email version.
There's an email multiplayer version of XCOM.
A small team of developers that wasn't even related to the original maker or the original team or anything, but part of the company sort of. It's sort of like a backroom coder group. Created a title to quickly get on the social shelves. It's a lot like it's a turn-based game.
How it pretty much works. You make your moves and you email your move to the other guy. The other guy gets the email, downloads the attachment, double-clicks it, and it automatically on his screen makes your move. And then you can go and make your move and then email him the result.
The original program was actually meant to tie in directly to the server. Not to the server. To directly mail in, connecting to your email account.
Oh yeah, of course.
And then it sends and receives the emails on its own. But when we got to the game, these servers or these protocols weren't in use anymore. They weren't working correctly. So you'd press send on your email, and then you'd go into the files and search for the latest file, and then physically pick it up, attach it to your email it to your friend. But we had a couple of epic matches when I worked when we worked at different companies.
Yeah, the thing is, you can play other aliens or the humans, and it's stupid. It's not graphically anything to write home about, but it's fun and it's XCOM. And
it had line of sight. It had different
and it kept me out of work, which is awesome.
And it had quite a few different maps. It had terrains that are destructible.
Yeah,
it had
awesome.
Weapons. It had all different aliens. It was a lot of fun.
But yeah, no. The thing is, as I said, fantasy is like the thing now, especially now with The Hobbit getting back in the swing of things. So
oh joy!
Space is not everybody's cup. Well, we'll have to wait and see until
Pacific Rim.
Yeah, but that's more Evangelion than
Pacific
space.
Rim job.
Yeah, but I just love the I just love the Sweded trailer they did of Pacific Rim. It's so fucking funny.
Oh yeah.
I'll bleep that one out later. Oh, no. This is net nerds after dark. Let's get filthy.
That's good. The thing is, it's Pacific Rim is more Evangelion than anything else.
Oh, I know.
But
So sci-fi.
Anyway, back to that.
Plug suits, man.
Plug suits. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, but you should see actually how they did it, and it's brilliant. Because you know that scene where like walking.
Yes.
They took like these elliptical machines, like 2 of them was like.
Oh yeah, I saw that trailer.
We'll put this in the comment section, so if you get to this part, you can actually see.
Incidentally, if you open the comment section and your screen double extends, don't worry.
I think this is going to be more like a link post. Video podcast. It's like, oh, cool videos today. It's like,
Yeah, that's also cool.
Like just
I can respect that.
Middle mouse button all the way.
But like I said, we're now just gonna have to wait for Princess Jasmine in the 7th Star Wars movie, and then we're gonna have back into the space thing.
oh, yeah, but we'll still have to have like a Star Wars episode.
Oh, we'll have to have, yeah.
The thing is that, yeah, Star Wars, a whole episode on its own. Not joking. Princess Leia, yes. Welcome to Disney.
Yeah, but then we'll get out the lightsabers and the Jedi robes and the Darth Vader helmets.
And the ears, don't forget the ears.
Oh yeah, and the
Voice
and
and
the
synths.
Do not talk back to me. That South Park episode ruined me.
Brilliant.
You don't know the power of the dark side.
No.
Oh my word, that's gonna be epic.
It's like you can already like imagine like the Emperor at Disneyland. It's like, Lord Mickey, I have fun for you.
Is that meme with the Emperor and Grumpy Cat?
Oh yeah.
I like you.
What, the Pope and Grumpy Cat?
No, the Emperor and Grumpy Cat.
Let's face it, the Emperor is like awesome.
No,
Yeah,
the Emperor is
yes.
awesome.
It's like I can feel the anger flow through you. Let your butthurt flow.
No.
It's like Oberian, let the nerd rage consume you, young Skywalker.
Getting back to the original topic. You said there's an
We had the
X4
original
coming.
topic?
Yes, space games.
Oh yeah, space. Yeah, X-Force is on space meet. Okay, yeah, there's an X4 coming. I think there's actually a X3 Albion Prelude out on Steam. I think if you buy the gold box or something, you actually get that for free. But that was like last year. But I think this year, X4 or next year, it might come out.
Oh, that's cool. Something to look forward to.
But the thing is that I don't really like about it, there's no multiple ships anymore. There's only like the Albion.
Oh, no.
And how it works now is you get like drones you attach to it.
That's odd.
Yeah, that's very odd for
Like
the X.
Darkstar 1.
Yeah, so apparently if you want like mining drones or trade drones, you
A trade drone.
it's like
Like a drone that comes knocking on your doors. Hey man, you want to buy some popsicles?
it's like that.
Just,
I can chocolate bubblegum.
I got chocolate bubblegum. Yeah, no, it's cool. I'll look forward to it, but I don't know.
Yeah,
If you want to go really...
If you're looking for just a quick bash it up, shoot it out, turn around, do a sidewinder, crash into asteroids fun, I would recommend Moonbreakers. That's what I've mentioned before. It's a Steam game, it's for free, you can pay to win, or you can just play a lot and buy the stuff with whatever. It's actually, the game uses the elusive Helium-3. Ooh, from the Space Nazis stories and stuff. But anyway, it's literally just like capture the flag and deathmatch in space with a carrier and asteroids. That's it.
Sounds
I just
uncomplicated.
want to say was on the new KSP they released they updated the facial animation in the animation windows.
Yeah.
So I was like, I never thought I'd see this day, but Jeb was like, he had like the most feared expression in his life, but he was like messed up the staging. So instead of like firing all the rockets, like
and everything explodes. I like it that doesn't matter what happens. There's always one Kerbal grinning like mad, like, oh yeah, this is a lot of
the
fun.
best is the new animation because like there's this weird animation where happens if I get excited, if I start shaking the arms like.
Yeah, bye.
Oh,
So it's like, you're I'm trying to get my space plane into orbit and it's like hitting like 1,000 meters per second. It's like
like dancing like
It's like
crazy.
dancing like crazy, but the thing is, I'm just glad the heat isn't implemented yet because it's like
Fried
blood
purple.
red. It's like you get like the feeling you're like going into like the Doctor Who time travels. Like in a moment, like
You're smash through a dimensional rift.
Or like Star Trek, slingshot around the sun, going backwards in time thing, end up in 1996 again.
With a borrowed third party,
Yes.
born to shit, regenerated lithium crystal, bird of prey that's not even supposed to make orbit, with a SEAL tank carrying two. No. It's a good movie, but no.
Star Trek The Void Shot.
I had a lot of questions in that movie.
It's Star Trek, you're supposed to have a lot of questions.
Yeah, well,
Talking off, Into Darkness
that looks freaking awesome.
on my birthday. Yeah, that's gonna be awesome.
Into Darkness, yes.
New Star Trek movie.
How much fun. Yes. With Sherlock Holmes, apparently.
Yes. Well, Sherlock Holmes is the bad guy. Not Sherlock Holmes, but that
Nah,
Benedict Cumberbatch.
Cumberbatch.
what a horrible surname. What was his badass Cox?
What?
Dr. Cox.
Dr. Cox.
Yes. Anyways, where were we?
I was at Moonbreakers. That was my last contribution.
Yeah, I think this one's been running for a while now. So.
What's the time you've got there?
It's been recording for 1 hour 10 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah, I think this
Yeah,
is
that's
it.
I need to get going anyways.
Yes.
So,
Right.
thanks guys. It was a good show. As we always say, when we end the show, work hard, live hard, and nerd hard.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Auf Wiedersehen.